Good evening. Welcome to Giants Roundup. As tonight the Giants enter the month of May on a sour note as they lose to the Friars 3-2 in a heartbreaker loss. But we do have a view of the future, and it's looking bright. Though you can follow on Facebook, Twitter, and also please be kind and hit that subscribe button. Yeah, not good night for tough loss tonight for the Giants, but there was a lot of good tonight, a lot of bad, some bad news to talk about tonight. There's we I think we have our ace of the future in Andy Suarez tonight. The kid was excellent tonight. One walk, two earned runs, 7 innings strong, 5 strikeouts. He looked like a veteran pitcher out there tonight. He was dealing, and he proved he was no fluke in Sacramento. I think this Suarez kid is here to stay. Now we're going to share some bad news here. The bad news is Johnny Cueto is back on the disabled list. I'm going to take a look at the date of the retroactive for it. He's going back on the disabled list with elbow inflammation. And retroactive to but he'll probably miss maybe a start, maybe 2 starts at the most. But if that gives Suarez another opportunity to get a start, so that's definitely good news there. And if Suarez can have another start like that, you know what? I truly think Derek Holland's days could be numbered in the rotation. Holland can barely make it 5 innings anymore, and the question is there even going to be room for him in the bullpen if he's bumped out of the rotation? I mean, you got Pierce Johnson, who I think's locked down a spot in the bullpen. You've got, well, suppose plausibly you can go 3 lefties, and then Will Smith is going to be activated tomorrow, so that's likely means DJ Snelton will be heading back to Sacramento tomorrow with Will Smith being activated from the disabled list. So that's very good news. I don't expect him to get any high leverage situations yet. They're going to probably ease him back into the bullpen and stuff. So we'll see what it's like. But Will Smith did pretty well in Sacramento. He had good rehab. I think I would like to see how well Will Smith can do. Can he stay healthy? And I'm really looking forward to seeing Will Smith the next we'll see how he does on this upcoming roadie. And this is going to be a tough roadie, and there's going to be and I'm not going to be vodcasting tomorrow since it's a weekday matinee game. I'll be at work tomorrow, so I'll be back on Friday. Is going to be a weird schedule for you guys. The game is a 4 o'clock game. I normally would come on air after the Giants game, not this time though. I am going to be going to the Fresno Grizzlies Sacramento River Cats game Friday night. So there will be a show. It will be on after I get back from the Grizzly game. And it will probably just be a brief recap on the Giants and the MLB Roundup. And then we're going to go more into a River Cats Grizzlies Roundup, since it's going to be more emphasized on since I'm going to be at the game. It would be kind of fun to talk a little PCL baseball and see what Steven Duggar does. Maybe see Hunter Pence at Chancey Park. That's going to kind of be cool. So there's going to be some fun things coming up on here. So, and that's definitely worth the price of admission at Chancey Park this Friday nights to see Hunter Pence play at Chancey Park. So that's definitely worth coming to downtown Fresno and enjoy a night of Grizzlies baseball. And you don't even have to drive your car downtown anymore. You can ride the Fax Q down to Chick Park, ride the bus back to maybe Blackstone and Shaw or something, or River Park. Park your car there, take the bus, come back, and not have to worry about paying for parking. So certainly you can come watch Hunter Pence play for the River Cats. See Steven Gut Duggar. He's definitely be up at the Giants sooner or later. Maybe we see Beatty pitch. Definitely give me some excitement to see at Chick Park Friday night. And I'll talk about the game when I come on air. But it'll be more of a PCL show than we have MLB show on Friday. The other good news we got is that Madison Bumgarner is about to start pitching again. He's going to be able to start throwing the baseball soon, and that's really good news. There is Bumgarner could be cleared very soon. And also on the roadie, we could be getting back Mac Williamson. We'll see if he can clear the concussion DL, but that's really good news there. There's definitely some good news coming there. Now on to tonight's game. Suarez didn't start great tonight. They did settle down after he gave up a first inning home run to Christian Villanueva to make it 1-0 Friars. Then the Friars would score again on a grounder by Perella to score Eric Hosmer. It'd be 2-0. Then in the fifth inning, the Giants got on the board with a single by Andrew McCutchen to score Alan Hansen to make it 2-1. And then Posey doubles to right to score Andrew McCutchen in the seventh inning to make it 2-2. And oh man, it was not a good night for Hunter Strickland. He was hanging pitches tonight. And guess what? Eric Hosmer took him yard. That's right. And that was the dagger. The the one hit of the night from Hosmer was one of his two hits of the night. Excuse me, but yeah, one of his two hits of the night was the killer. The home run out. But no, it was not a good night for Strickland. He flew a lot of balls out deep. He was just Strickland was off his game tonight, and Hosmer made him pay. And then Buster Posey 2 for 3 tonight. Good outing out of him. Hanson had a really good defensive stop tonight for the Giants. So Hanson's looking like the better defensive second baseman as of right now. We'll see what Kelby can bring here later on. And I expect tomorrow we will see Nick Hundley in the squat. And Brandon Crawford is now under 200 at 191. Now the Giants fall to 15 and 15 and fall back to third place. And San Diego is climbing up on LA actually. As the Dodgers are approaching the cellar at this rate. And now that we are getting into the month of May and it's time to say, is it hangover? I am starting to think the hangover is real in LA. Also, it doesn't help that you have both Justin Turner and no, it certainly does not help that Justin Turner's hurt. Of course, Seager's gone for the year. What could go wrong is going wrong for the Dodgers. The bullpen's not great. I think the hangover is real for the Dodgers, and it's looking like the hangover is here to stay for LA as we enter the month of May. But they don't have the worst problems going on in baseball right now. as we are entering the month of May, let's see what other teams are. We'll look at the standings here. And then you got the Blue Jays that are doing okay this year. You got Baltimore at 8-20. I certainly think there's going to be major changes coming to Baltimore very soon. I think we are going to see the end. I would not be surprised if Dan Duquette gets fired mid-season over there in Baltimore. There's no chance Dan Duquette keeps his job with the Orioles after this season. He's toast. I don't see him coming back. I don't see him surviving the season at this rate, as they're going to be getting ready to fire sale in Baltimore, try to get as big as a return they can for some of their relievers, and of course Manny Machado. And then Tampa Bay is actually doing pretty well at 13-15. I didn't expect them to be there at this point. In the Central, you got the Indians, and then the Twins have to be a big disappointment right now. The rotation's not been good, and they're 1-9 in their last 10, 9-16 going into May is not exactly where you want to be. But if there's any saving grace for the Twins, is that the AL Central is not exactly the greatest division right now, so they could. There's plenty of time for them to recover. They're only 4.5 games out of first place. The Indians are 15-13 and have the first place lead. Exactly, and the toughest division right now has got to be the AL West. Astros at 20-11, the Mariners 16-11, and the Mariners are doing. And the crazy part with the Mariners, as we are at the first month polls, the Mariners are winning despite the struggles of James Paxton. James Paxton has really struggled this early in the season to find his command, and some way, somehow, the Mariners and King Felix is not what he used to be. And they're trying they're doing okay at 16-11, but also this could mean that they're going to have to maybe go out and acquire some starting pitching in order to keep pace with the Astros. Where at the Astros, their recent acquisition this offseason, Garrett Cole, he's found himself in Houston. He's looked much like the ace he used to be in Pittsburgh, and not the pitcher he was the last couple seasons who's fallen off. And we'll see if Garrett Cole can keep it up here the rest of the year, but he's looking more like the old ace he used to be in Pittsburgh. So that's a really good sign for the Astros right there. And you got the Angels at 16-12, and Shohei Ohtani got off to a hot start. He's fallen back to earth. Garrett Richards has had some struggles in the rotation. The Bats have done okay. They're only 2.5 games out of first in the AL West. But Otani's fallen back to earth in the pitching side, so that's looking like more of his future could be a DH. So there's then health in the rotation is always a question with the Angels. We'll see what happens there. And then you got the A's at 14-14. Very good start to the year. Oakland, I thought Oakland was going to be a sleeper this year. They're not disappointing. And Sean Manaea is starting to look like the new ace for the Oakland A's going into May, and he's found it this year. And Daniel Mangden's had some good starts, except his last one. And I think Mangden's another one that is starting to look like a keeper for the A's right now. That's good news there. The biggest disappointment has to be Kendall Graveman. He's looked terrible, and I think at this point we're going to probably see Kendall Graveman go to the bullpen going into May. And then Triggs has been inconsistent this season, but the A's, Chris Davis has not missed a beat. You got Jed Lowry, who's really swinging the hot bat for the A's at this point. Matt Chapman's been pretty good. It's just Oakland finds talent where they, and the A's continue to just find talent where they can. And you got the Texas Rangers. Here's another manager who I think's on the hot seat. That is Jeff Bannister, and with the Rangers, they're likely heading for a fire sale here at the deadline. Cole Hamels could probably move to another team. Shin Chu Chu. Maybe Adrian Beltre finishes elsewhere this year. The Rangers are a dumpster fire at this point, and they're the second. No, yeah, Texas. I think at some point they're just it's going to be fire sale over there once they really start falling out of the race of this competitive AL West this year. I think this is where I expected the Rangers to be. So this now on to the NL East. The Mets have bounced back, but they've kind of fallen back to earth a bit last few weeks. And Matt Harvey's fallen out, has been demoted to the bullpen. The back end of the starting pitching's not been the greatest for the Mets thus far. It's mostly been Syndergaard and DeGrom, and some of the veteran bats have helped them out. And you got Atlanta. Atlanta's actually overachieved thus far, and the young arms are starting to come together with the Braves. And Freddie Freeman's healthy this year. That's definitely helped the Braves out. And I certainly think that's something that we'll see what happens in the month of May, if there's going to be a correction or not with the Braves. But if the Braves can hang on here, I think Atlanta could be a good young team going. They're looking like a sleeper at this point. You got the Phillies, who started off hot. Now they're hitting a correction. They're at 16-13. They're still better than where they were last year. But I don't. But I think they'll stay competitive this year. I don't think they're going to get too far out of the race. They're not going to be a playoff team, but I think they'll certainly just continue to add pieces. And Arrieta's done okay for the most part. Nola's become their ace. There's definitely some good pieces with the Phillies. They're not going to be in last place this year. But I think corrections hit them, and here we are to another team that's had a slow start to the season, the Washington Nationals at 14-16. They're starting to get it together after starting slow. I think they're going to have a good month of May. I think they'll get themselves back in the race here, and I don't think there's anything really to worry about other than maybe Bryce Harper being distracted this season with him entering free agency. That's his numbers are down a bit. That's to be expected. But I don't think he's going to get $400 million in next year's free agency. I don't see that happening. I'd say maybe 250 million with teams now embracing the farm more. So it's really going to hurt his big payday chances this offseason. And the Marlins at 11-18. Actually, you know what? That's better than I thought they would be. But at the end of the day, will we see Don Mattingly get scapegoated this offseason? That's going to get interesting. But you know, maybe Derek Jeter was more of a genius than we thought. And then we go to the NL Central, the Cubs, where I thought they would be. The biggest disappointment, though, has been Yu Darvish. Darvish has struggled in the Cubs rotation thus far. And then Quintana starting to turn it around after a slow start to the season. But the Cubs are on track to win another title, and I think the Cubs are on a mission to get back to the World Series this year. Milwaukee Brewers tied for first, despite having very little starting pitching. They're putting themselves in a good position to acquire a starter here before the trade deadline. And I certainly think they will acquire somebody here before this year's deadline. And then you got the Cardinals, who are hanging in there at 16-12. But right now, their pitching's kind of suspect. Luke Weaver's fallen back to earth the last few games. And besides Carlos Martinez, the rotation's not great. I don't know if they can sustain the success going into May. But we'll see. The Pirates, I think they're going to hit a correction. 17-13. I think they're starting to experience a correction at this point, and they'll probably fall where I think they're going to be. In the West, I don't really see a correction by the D-backs. I think this D-backs team is where I thought it would. It's doing better than what I thought it would be, but they're no fluke either. They definitely have a really deep farm system. They've really got Luvolo's a really good manager in Arizona, and I certainly think they're bona fide title contenders this year in the West. Last year was no fluke either, so it's really starting to look like the D-backs are going to maybe they run away with the West, maybe not, but I think they're definitely a bona fide contender at this point. Colorado, 16-15, not too bad. I certainly think the Rockies, they have another at least a shot at making the wild card this year. But the pitching's kind of been off this year. Freeland struggled. They've had Anderson struggled. But the pitching needs to get it together. And here we go with the state of the Giants. I think the Giants are actually doing better than what I expected. Come in here saying we're going to be 15-15 without Madison Bumgarner on May 1st, I'd say you're crazy. But no, they did it. And crazy part is it's not the talent we acquired this offseason that's doing it. It's these young kids. It's a healthy Brandon Belt. I mean, if there's something to look forward to is seeing I'd like to see more of Andy Suarez. He's doing well. Chris Stratton, despite that one bad start last week, Stratton's been pretty good. Ty Block can get you a few good games. And Cueto. But we've and then Mac before Mac hit the concussion DL, he was already hitting bombs in the parts of AT&T Park where only number 25 would hit. I think that Williamson kid could be something special once he gets back off the disabled list. And that's got to give you hope. The bullpen, much improved. And Moranta's hit a rough spot. Pierce Johnson's locked down a spot in the bullpen. That Pierce Johnson was a really good find. Sam Dyson's got it together since getting off to a slow start. And now the only really big concern is Corey Guerin. I just don't know. I think Guerin may be best at garbage. That's what Corey Guerin's good at, garbage innings. But Tony Watson, he's definitely been good out of the pen. Strickland's been a shutdown closer for the most part. 7 out of 9. I'll take it. But yeah, and this game wasn't an indictment of how bad he's been or anything like that. He just had an off night tonight, and but Strickland has locked down that closer role, and looks like Mark Melanson will start pitching activities very soon. That's good news there, but I don't expect Melanson to get his closer job back anytime soon. I think Strickland is has earned the right to keep it. He's hasn't done anything to lose it yet. But now we're going to go into the month of May, and the Giants' schedule gets a bit tougher as they're going to be playing more games on the road in the month of May. Yeah, they go on an Eastern roadie starting Friday. They get 3 against Atlanta, 4 against Philly, and then 3 against Pittsburgh. Then they come home to play the Reds and Rockies. Then they go back on the road to play a 2-game series against the defending champion Houston Astros. Not an easy task there. Then after they go to the Astros, they go to Wrigley to play the Cubbies. Not easy there. Then they go to Denver to play the Colorado Rockies to wrap up the month of May. That is not going to be an easy stretch here in May. You got road games against tough teams towards the end of May. Houston, Colorado, Chicago. That is going to be murderer's row right there. And the Eastern roadie's not going to be easy either. Atlanta's no slouch this year. Philadelphia, they're better than what they were last year. Pittsburgh, not easy either. Pittsburgh is better than what they were, but maybe they're. But there's going to be some tough games, and then they get the punching bag Reds when they come home, and then Colorado. It's May is not going to be an easy month for the Giants, and they're going to have to go through this murderer's row. They don't get a whole lot of home games until July, so this is going to be, and they get to go to Denver on Memorial Day this year, and then Sunday night baseball in Wrigley against the Cubbies. And that 2-game series against the Astros, that's not going to be easy playing at Houston. So there's going to be some tough sledding coming up for the Giants. And we're going to find out how battle tested these young pitching is going to be. Because I think Suarez, I think he's certainly going to stick around for a while. I mean, now the pressure is really going to be on Derek Holland here. He's likely battling for his rotation spot here now with Suarez emerging like he is. And then maybe Ty Block here as we get near the end of May, we could start seeing Bumgarner approach a return. So that's going to be interesting. And you could have a 3 lefty bullpen when it's all said and done. Once Bumgarner and Cueto returns, and when it's all said and done, you could have Andy Suarez as your 5. And that may not look too bad. That might look like a really good rotation going into June, possibly having Bumgarner, Cueto, Samardzija, Stratton, and Suarez. I certainly think Suarez just looked confident. He looked like he was ready for the show tonight. And bright thing, a bright future is really looking for this kid. I think he definitely gives the Giants some hope here in the rotation. And congrats, you've earned it. Now it's your rotation spot to lose, Andy Suarez. And now the pressure's on Holland. He can't have any more clunkers. now with Suarez proving he wants to stay in the show, it's Holland's turn. And I don't think there's a spot for him in the bullpen if he fails. I think he's on his way out the door like Osich. I don't see Osich coming back to the Giants. I think DJ Snelton looks like he's ready to take that other lefty spot away. And it's great. It's great seeing this homegrown talent starting to come all together. And who knows, maybe by June we might see Steven Duggar up if Austin Jackson continues to struggle and McCutchen doesn't find his bat here in May. The pressure's on McCutchen now. He's got to get his bat together, or it could look like Slater, Williamson, and Duggar in your outfield. That wouldn't that be something? But here we go. May's going to be murderer's row for the Giants, and they can't afford to lose too many games here. And Atlanta's no joke. Phillies, maybe Philly and Pittsburgh, they're hitting corrections. But the end of May is going to be definitely going to be murderer's row. Wrigley, Coors, Minute Maid Park, all on one road trip. That is a meat grinder right there. But tomorrow, go out there, get a win tomorrow afternoon, and make it a happy flight to Atlanta. That is the big key: is make it a happy flight back to ATL. And as you start the tough part of the toughest, and May might be the toughest month of the Giants' schedule before things start getting easy. Tonight's attendance was 36,735. Before you start getting Bumgarner back in June, and hopefully, you're continue to tread water through the month of May, and let it all be after that. All right, let's go with the MLB roundup for tonight. The Angels beat the Orioles 3-2. Your winning pitcher Cam Bedrosian. Your losing pitcher Brad Brock. Brad Brock an earned run without recording an out tonight. Martin Maldonado goes 3-for-4. Luis Valbuena with a home run tonight. Alex Cobb actually had a good game against the Angels tonight. Gets his ERA down a skosh to 9.68. And Nick Torpiano, 6 1/3 scoreless innings for the Angels tonight. And they were able to weather Bedrosian's bad out. Isaiah Kinner Falefa goes 4-for-6 tonight. Delino DeShields Jr. hits a home run tonight. Kinner Falefa hits his second home run of the year. Not a good night for Jeff Bellevue as he comes in and gives up 3 earned runs without recording an out. Goody 2 earned runs and 1 2/3 innings pitched. And a good outing out of Doug Fister tonight. 2 unearned runs allowed in 6 2/3 innings pitched. Keone Kela 4 earned runs and 1 inning pitched for the Rangers. And tonight, the Nationals give the Pirates a beating 12-4. Your winning pitcher, Max Scherzer. Your losing pitcher, Chad Kuhl. Matt Adams goes 3-for-4. Joshua Bell goes 2-for-3 for the Pirates along with Colin Moran. Former Fresno Grizzly Colin Moran hitting pretty well for the Pirates right now. Cool allows 6 runs, 4 earned in 4 and 2/3 innings pitched. Not so cool. Tyler Glasnow, 6 earned runs and 1 inning pitched. And for the Nats, Carlos Torres, 2 earned runs and 1 inning pitched. And the Braves beat the Mets 3-2. Your winning pitcher, Michael Soroka, as he beats Thor. Noah Syndergaard takes a rare loss tonight. Ryan Flaherty goes 2 for 3 for the Braves. Giannis Cespedes goes 3 for 4 for the Mets tonight. And Soroka 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched. And Thor wasn't exactly throwing it down tonight. 10 hits. Not exactly a good start for under Thor standards for allowing 10 hits. And Arodys Vizcaino gets his 4th save of the season, allows an earned run though in the effort. And the Brewers beat the Reds 7-6. Your winning pitcher Chase Anderson, your losing pitcher Homer Bailey. Go! Yep, 5 earned runs in 5 innings pitched for Homer. Yeah, it looked more like a Homer Simpson outing than a Homer Bailey outing tonight. Orlando Arcia goes 3 for 4 for the Brewers tonight. Starters were not good tonight. Bailey, 5 earned runs in 5 innings pitched. Chase Anderson, 4 walks, 4 earned runs in 5 and 1/3 innings. The 4 walks is definitely an area of concern. And the Marlins beat the Phillies 2-1. Your winning pitcher, Michi Tazawa. Your losing pitcher, Yaxel Rios. And Justin Bour hits his fifth home run of the season to win it. I mean, Harlan Garcia an earned run in 6 innings pitched as he's looking like the new ace for the Marlins. Zach Eflin an earned run in 6 innings pitched for the Phillies tonight. And the Tigers beat the Rays 2-1. Your winning pitcher Matt Boyd, your losing pitcher Chris Archer. And tough luck for Chris Archer. 2 earned runs in 6 innings pitched, just did not get the run support tonight. And it looks like Archer's starting to settle down a bit after a really terrible start of the season. And Archer's looking to have a better month of May to boost his trade value. His ERA is now down to 6.05 at this point. And the Royals beat the Red Sox 7-6. Your winning pitcher, Kelvin Herrera. Your losing pitcher, Brian Johnson. Alex Benintendi 3-for-6 tonight for the Red Sox. Mitch Moreland 3-for-6. John Jay goes 4-for-5 for Kansas City tonight. And Moreland had his 4th home run of the season. Former Giant Eduardo Nunez, his 3rd home run of the season. And yeah, Chris Sailing got the no decision tonight. It was Brian Johnson giving up 3 earned runs in the 13th inning. So this game went 13 innings to blow the game. Birch Smith, 2 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning pitched. And Calvin wins it despite giving up his first blown save of the season for Calvin Herrera. And the Rockies beat the Cubs 3-1. Your winning pitcher John Gray, your losing pitcher Kyle Hendricks in a pretty good pitchers duel. Gray 7 innings pitched, 1 earned. Hendricks 7 2/3, 3 earned. And Anthony Rizzo hits his second home run of the season for the Cubbies. And the Blue Jays beat the Twins 7-4. Your winning pitcher Tyler Clippard. Your losing pitcher John Curtis. Roberto Osuna picks up his 8th save of the season. Kendrys Morales goes 3 for 3 for the Blue Jays tonight. Kevin Pillar 2 for 3. And Morales had 2 home runs for the Blue Jays tonight. Curtis, 3 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning pitched as the Twins just can't catch a break right now. And Toronto was able to weather a bad start out of Marco Estrada tonight. And the Yankees blanked the Astros 4-0. Your winning pitcher, David Robertson, your losing pitcher, Ken Giles. And Giles punches himself after giving up a home run to Sanchez. That's kind of ironic there. And no, it was not a good night for Ken Giles. 4 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning pitched. And yeah, he gives up the home run there. I'm looking at a video clip of it right now. There's the home run. They're showing replays of the home run right now. But that was one of 2 hits by Gary Sanchez in this game. All right, they're not showing the replay, but yeah, and then yeah, oh yeah, there it is. And Giles just punches himself. Oh, it was just not a good night for Giles. 4 earned runs. His ERA is now up to 5.23. This is why he's no longer closing games for the Houston Astros at this point. And also, Jordan Montgomery left the game with an injury, so they did get a good outing out of Domingo German, so that was good for them. And the Cardinals beat the White Sox 3-2. Your winning pitcher, Bud Norris. Your losing pitcher, Joaquin Soria. And actually, a good outing out of big game James Shields, an earned run in 6 innings pitched. And then Waka was actually good himself, 2 earned runs in 5 innings pitched. Soria, 2 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning pitched. And the D-backs beat the LA Dodgers 4-3. Silvino Bracco takes the win for the Dodgers. The losing pitcher is Adam Liberatore. Evan Marrero goes 2 for 3 for the Dodgers. AJ Pollock hits his 10th home run of the season and blows, and Cody Bellinger hits his 4th home run of the season for the Dodgers. Matt Koch, 3 runs, 2 earns in a spot start tonight. And Clayton Kershaw, 2 earned runs and a no decision. And Brad Boxberger gets his 10th save of the season. And on the other side of the bay tonight, the A's lose to the Mariners 6-3. Your winning pitcher King Felix, your losing pitcher Andrew Triggs, and 5 for 5 night out of D. Gordon for the Mariners tonight. And Jed Lowry hits his 7th home run of the season for the A's. And Triggs only survives 4 2/3 innings, allows 4 earned runs. And he also hits Haniger with the pitch, so I think he might have been ejected tonight. But he did hit Haniger with a pitch. He wasn't ejected. That was not intentional, but I imagine the warnings were issued after Haniger, and then Nelson Cruz with a 3-run bomb in the 5th inning to knock Triggs out of the game. And that was a costly one hit off of that Nelson Cruz got, and he definitely made Triggs pay for it tonight. And tonight down on the farm, the River Cats beat the 51s 5-1. Your winning pitcher is Matt Gage. 1 unearned run in 8 and 5 1/3 innings pitched for the River Cats. PJ Conlon takes the loss for the 51s. 4 earned runs in 5 innings pitched. And Duggar goes 0 for 3 tonight. And Ryder Jones like, hey, don't forget about me. 2 for 3 tonight. And the Grizzlies lose to the Bees in a slugfest 13-9 in Salt Lake City. And Tyler White goes 3 for 3 for the Grizzlies tonight. JD Davis 4 for 5. Cy Sneed, not a good night at all. 10 earned runs in 5 and 2/3 of an inning pitched. His ERA balloons to 4.97. And Ralston Cash, 6 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning pitched. That's AAA baseball for you. And now we move on to the rubber match tomorrow between the Giants and the Friars. And it will be Derek Holland against Clayton Richard. So this could be more of an offensive game tomorrow, as both pitchers are currently struggling at this point, and both are looking for a win. So tomorrow we hope to. Oh, I also forgot about the Warriors. Let's see. And also on at Oracle tonight, the Warriors. The Warriors beat the Pelicans 121-116. Anthony Davis 25 points. Rajon Rondo 22 points. Jeru Holiday 24 points for the Pelicans. Raymond with 20 points tonight. Kevin Durant 29 points. Steph Curry 28 points off the bench as he makes it as he returns to the Warriors tonight, could be key towards the Warriors wanting another championship here at Oracle. And then 29 points from Kevin Durant tonight. And now the Warriors take a 2-0 series lead as they go to Smoothie King. And tomorrow night it will be the Sharks and the Golden Knights game 4, and that's going to be a must win for the Sharks. All right, everybody enjoy the Giants tomorrow. Hopefully we get a win and have a happy flight to Atlanta. Everybody, good night, peace. See you tomorrow. See you Friday night.